Hello, my name is Tenario Powell. I'm a student of the doctorate program of information technology at Middle Georgia State University. This is my case study of the Bank of America for my ITEC 8120 class. This is my presentation. I'm going to talk more about it. To start, these are the keywords: IT compliance, IT policy, and IT governance. The purpose and problem statement. The purpose of this academic piece is to conduct a case study of an organization, which is the requirement. I chose Bank of America, which is a financial institution. I will assess the IT policies, compliance, and legal requirements. Me as a researcher, I will review the policies at hand and suggest improvements if any. The case study will be Bank of America. This is a financial institution. The statement is: how do we improve the policy and compliance at hand, if there is any at hand to improve? If not, we will make suggestions of the new technology to combine with the existing technology. That way, me as a researcher and as a student will satisfy the requirements of the assessment, suggesting improvements, and conducting a case study of the organization for the assignment. The goal of this academic piece and the researcher are to gain experience conducting case studies and satisfy the requirements of the stakeholder. In this case, it is the professor that is the stakeholder. I will apply security principles, policies, governance, data privacy, and data prevention policies as well. I will use my experience from the field, and the information learned in this program will be applicable to this academic piece and to this presentation. The goal is to show competency in writing, interpreting, and analyzing information from professional sources. Here's my discussion in literature. Bank of America has IT policies in place. They were hit with a breach in 2023. Intake citation. A threat actor compromised IMS systems around November 3rd, taking some of the applications offline. There's one of my sources. A lot of PII was disclosed. This is one of those incidents that could have been prevented. This could have been prevented with encryption. Encryption for data at rest could have helped mitigate this situation, and I will talk about that in my recommendations later. Also, to improve the situation, the Bank of America company have filed a lot of patents in 2023. The Bank of America spent $12 billion a year on technology. It plans to allocate $3.8 billion to new initiatives this year and every year for cybersecurity. Okay, another thing that I recommend: spending and budget control will help with IT policies as well. IT security requires you to have a budget in place for incident response and equipment to help. Another thing I would like to suggest about this, and I put this in my latest suggestion, is SIEM systems. They detect things for incident response and breaches and stuff like that, so you can catch it in time. And also, I didn't put this in here, but IPS and IDS, they're always good. Host-based firewalls, network-based firewalls, and all that. And I'll get in there to the next paragraph. Bank of America uses authentication for their services. Bank of America added an additional layer of security for its online services. I'm a Bank of America customer, so I know. The CIL security is always a good principle to implement. Authentication, integrity, and availability are the three categories of that principle. Authentication is being used at Bank of America now. So to improve that, I will use authentication on top of authentication with multi-factor authentication as layers of security to make sure that nothing happens or compromises the data at hand. Compliance and governance. Moreover, the next topic of discussion is governance of data. The data of thousands were compromised in the incident at Bank of America. Intake citation. The losses of the data at Bank of America were estimated to be $30 million. That is a huge loss. To prevent this type of attack, I would suggest data custodians, data owners, and database security and auditing, so you can catch it in time. I took a database security and auditing in one of my master's classes. It was very interesting. This could have mitigated or avoided the problem with PII. You know, with cybersecurity, you want to avoid, transfer, mitigate, or accept. Also, information systems at financial institutions are getting more and more digitized. Cybersecurity is not an in-house issue, but one dependent on a series of organizations. As you see, with more breaches and breaches and breaches that are happening, they depend on third-party organizations to monitor their network security and their cyber security. Network security and cyber security are two different things. Network security is to secure travel across your network. Cyber security is the protection of your digital assets, but they go hand in hand. In this case, awareness training on phishing would be ideal as well. That is the biggest technique to get companies with incidents and breaches. They either do it with help desk or emails, spear phishing and stuff like that, and emails. Malware analysis would be ideal as well. Data prevention plans could have help as well, as I mentioned earlier. Also, with for their customers, they instantiated identity plan for customers for 2 years. Bank of America enlisted a third-party forensic firm to help aid in the recovery plan. The recovery plan is when you recover, you know, where they eradicate and you find the problem and all those things. Governments can include a recovery and an incident response plan. Incident response plans are always good and they always help out. Also, with that organization, what I would recommend are contracts in place. It's different kind of contracts. I learned that when I took the Project Plus. So a third party could have a memorandum of understanding to hold each other accountable when dealing with the plans, or some type of contract to hold them accountable. The legal requirements. In addition, legal requirements for financial organizations differ from country to country. Bank of America must comply with SOX. Recently, SOX has evolved into more than just a framework for ensuring financial records accuracy. That is very important for financial institutions to keep the state accurate and up to date with everything they do. Financial cybersecurity compliance is very prominent in all countries. Thus, this includes commercial banks, investment banks, insurance companies, brokerage firms, CPA firms, wealth management services, mutual funds, and credit unions. I'm a member of a credit union as well. The matter of bank compliance and legal requirements have grave ramifications if not followed. In this case study, the researcher found information about compliance and legal requirements. Compliance requirements can help determine what should be protected and how to improve cybersecurity, also network security. The Bank of America breach taught them to protect systems with third-party services and information with accounts pertaining to PII. The next session, we will go over the suggested recommendations for all attack vectors or risk. Recommendations. More importantly, one of the recommendations I always suggest to use for data at rest is encryption, obfuscation, and masking. I learned that with the Security Plus. Network security such as firewalls and network access will help as well. As stated before, SIEMs will also be ideal as well. Another technique to use will be data protection solution with policies using automatic encryption as well. As I said earlier, masking is a great technique as well. When I say data loss prevention, you either tombstone it, quarantine it, or whatever you need to do to prevent the malware from spreading. Also, data custodians, data owners, and database and auditing techniques could use the avoidance principle in cyber as well with this institution. So if you have a data custodian to own it, to look at everything, a data owner to own the data, and you audit the database every day with encryption, that is a way to mitigate things and avoid things. As said here, data protection, privacy, and prevention will suffice in the protection of PII. So if they did get hacked and it was encrypted with a good algorithm or cryptography, they wouldn't be able to see the data anyway. Future studies also that I want to include are IT security with fintech. I think that's going to blow up. Fintech is an exploding industry. Also, I'm very interested in Web 3.0 with machine learning and cyber security. I think Web 3.0 is going to be very interesting. I saw the Web 2.0 boom in 2006 when I was taking my associate degree. Web 2.0 was interactivity. Web 3.0 is the semantic web. I think it's going to take off. Plus, I like web. I like JavaScript. I like Node.js, that whole ecosystem. I like C#, Python. I wrote a Python web app dealing with water pressure at my job. That was very interesting. I also took a machine learning class. I want to dive deeper into that as that is exploding as well. I think these will be used in financial institutions. I also predict these technologies will be extended and used extensively as well. In conclusion, the case study has assessed policies, governance, and compliance. These subjects will continue to be the forefront of IT security, network security, and cyber security, in my honest opinion. I couldn't find anything to back that up, but from the way cybersecurity is headed with machine learning, AI, network security, and the big buzz around cybersecurity, and also these new frameworks, I think that's the forefront of everything. Financial institutions will have to step up their game as the attack vectors continue to grow. The next wave of attacks will be directed on healthcare, such as the ransomware attack on the healthcare system a month or two ago, dealing with the medicine being frozen when individuals cannot get their medicine, or finance, because if finance shuts down, everything shuts down. That's why I think everything is going to be digitized, or some form of currency that's going to be right now, that's going to hit a wave of everything. In conclusion, the finance sector is up next to protect. If the assets or medium, as I said earlier, of the exchange are broken and you cannot buy goods, the consumers will begin to suffer. The economy will suffer drastically as well. IT professionals, as cybersecurity, programming, whatever we want to do, AI, must pivot to the sector and continue to innovate effective solutions to prevent such breaches or incidents. That is my presentation on this. Hopefully I gave some good information. I will continue to learn, continue to be a good student, and work on my presentation skills. Thank you.